Hi everyone, IntuitiveEdge here. Welcome once again to my channel. Thanks for joining me. It's time to take a look at our month ahead for June. What do we have happening around us in the field? What's going to be going on? What energies are present? I'm going to do some tuning in and we're going to talk about that coming up. I'll be right back and we'll get started. All right, I've got the cards shuffled up. Let's see what we've got here. So I wrote out 8 questions and we're going to take a look at what the cards are for each of those. Let me finish putting my 8 cards out. All right, here we go. First card is on the question of what is in the news, what's going to be in the field around, what's going to be maybe people talking about. So interesting card on this, the 7 of Swords. This is the card of kind of a sneaky situation, something going on a little underhanded. So, and this is having to really kind of judge things very cautiously, very carefully. Now, this could be playing out on the big screen in the world, and it could be on the micro level as well in maybe your own life, maybe dealing with tricky situations, having to kind of be smart as a fox. There's a fox on here, that's why I said that, but kind of have to be smart in how you handle things. This is not a time to just go crazy, balls to the walls. This is like being careful and cautious. But there's also a sneaky situation brewing. This is also the card of the thief. Someone who's doing something behind the scenes or underhanded. Next card out is on what's on the horizon, what's coming up. And we have this card. It's the card of anxiety. This is like grief, fear, anxiety. We may be seeing something of a kind of a darker nature that's coming in that's causing some anxiety or fear. What's interesting is it's facing right into this next card, which is the Devil card, and that is on the question of what are we leaving behind? It feels like we're in this transition time of dealing with these energies of sneaky, trying to get away with stuff and causing anxiety and panic and fear. But those are all things that are like coming up. And if we are leaving this devil energy behind, feels like that's why all this stuff is coming up, because that is coming up to be purged out. The lesson we're learning this month is the moon. The moon is really interesting because this is the card of illusion, things that are hidden, the veil, secrets. Sometimes it can also be deception. And we may be learning a big lesson collectively in the month of June about being deceived and how not to be deceived, what that means. Perhaps deception is ruling because it's sitting right next to this devil card, and the anxiety is flanking it on the other side, the devil card. So there's a lot of illusion, a lot of negative, dark energies that are being brought up to the surface and are being purged out. What is the public seeing or feeling? Now, this is interesting. The Emperor is the card of the heavy-handed Emperor, as the card looks. It is the card of control, power, and authority. And it's sitting right, as I have the cards out, it's right underneath that 7 of Swords, that tricky, underhanded. There could be a control mechanism or a control figure that has been dealing very underhandedly. And that is something that is coming to the forefront as well. That is what the public is seeing, is this control figure perhaps doing something a little behind the scenes that is causing the anxiety, dealing with the devil and the moon, okay? Interesting, we have, what is the system doing and feeling? And by system, I mean like the governments, the powers that be that maybe are represented by this emperor. What is that doing? And we have the star. The star is the card of hope, and this feels like next to that emperor that there is something that the power structure is trying or going to do that to them is feeling like we're going to put ourselves in a better position ourselves better. The outcome for June is an 8. This is interesting because we have restriction, prison, putting something or someone behind bars. This could play out in a major way this month. Underneath for this month, we have the 3 of Swords, a card of betrayal, heartbreak, and sadness. I wonder, I'm going to do some more cards and see, because I think I know what this is about. I'm going to drill in a little bit more and we'll talk about this. I'll be right back. So we all know what happened a couple of days ago, May 30th, when the guilty verdict was handed down from the court in New York. Now, what is going to happen to Donald Trump in the month of June? I have a feeling that some of what I was pulling in from the last spread has to do with Donald Trump. So let me see if that's correct, if that is going to be pulling in. What's going to happen to Donald Trump? Are the Democrats going to be successful in stopping Donald Trump from campaigning, from becoming the nominee? Is that going to be successful? What's going to happen to Donald Trump in June? I'm going to free flow this one. We're just going to wing it. Okay, so there's a messenger on this. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Let's see. Messenger is telling us that there's some challenge or heartbreak. This was the outcome card from the last spread. So actually the underneath card, I should say. Okay, so there's a struggle. Okay, so we have the Emperor coming out in the past position. And the 6 of Pentacles on the future card. The give and take. Let me, okay. We have the Tower coming out on Donald Trump. The Hanging Man right above that on the environment around. And the King of Wands. Okay, I'm gonna see what I get on this. I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to sit for a moment and do some of my writing that I do, intuitive writing. Here's what I think is gonna happen, what I'm leaning toward. What will happen to Donald Trump in June? What I'm sensing with the previous 2 spreads is that there's something brewing with the power structure that is intent on taking another step toward eliminating Donald Trump from the playing field, from the presidential race. So I wrote out on one of my questions, will Donald Trump be imprisoned or on house arrest in June? And the energy went to house arrest. I wrote, will this cause support for Donald Trump to go up or to go down? And I put it would go up. And then, will Donald Trump become the Republican nominee? I did both June and then July, and I get that he will become the nominee in July. So I do think that is what the anxiety and the kind of tricky situation and this card of kind of a sad betrayal and the Emperor playing into this. I do think that there will be steps taken. Perhaps they will say, Donald Trump, you violated your gag order. You're not supposed to tell the world what we're up to and defend yourself. I think they're going to forego putting him in Rikers Island, which I'm sure a lot of liberals would enjoy. But house arrest is probably more likely. That's what I'm thinking. We do have the Tower card coming up for June on Donald Trump. So, I do think that's going to happen. Let me just see if that's in the cards. I'll be right back. So I shuffled up the cards and I asked, is the Biden administration, the powers that be, are they going to place Donald J. Trump on house arrest in June? Is that what they're going to say? Hey, you violated something and we're going to put you on house arrest. We have the Magician coming out on that. That's probably a very favorable card. Yeah, 10 of Cups. So that's what they're going to do, in my humble opinion. Okay, so there's a messenger. This is what's led up to it. Making an offer. To me, the Knights are always letting us know, hey, there's something more to this. We have this crowning it. Card of confusion, a lot on your plate, a lot going on. Weighing your options, and then the Hierophant. The Hierophant on the future card is all about conformity, control, putting things in proper order, and putting people in their proper place. And Donald Trump is not playing by the rules, so they're going to take care of that. That's my opinion. We have the Fool, taking a risk, stepping out. The power structure is doing their best to come out on top with this. Yeah. King of Wands up top, taking action. Yeah. I think that's what they've got up their sleeve. So Donald Trump's probably going to say something and the judge is going to go, ah, you violated my gag order. How dare you? He'll pull a Greta. How dare you? And then Donald Trump will be ankle braceleted or whatever they do. Put him on house arrest. I don't think that's going to stop Donald Trump from campaigning. I mean, he can just do something from Mar-a-Lago, broadcast his message. Let's just, it'd be interesting to see what happens there, what the fallout is from that. I'm picking up on the UK Parliament. I feel like there is someone, a man, who is speaking out and he is standing up to something, standing up for something, but he is speaking the truth, okay? And this is coming around the middle of June, and his words are true. He's saying some very bold things that maybe even just a few months ago nobody would believe, but now people are willing to believe him, and he is telling the truth. And he is speaking true words. It's like a burning on his soul that he has to speak. He's like, I have to say this. I have to speak up. There's a shift and a change coming on the global scene. And this feels very good. It feels like the players that have been behind the scenes kind of manipulating things are being outed, and there's a shift coming to expose what they've been doing, and the people too are coming together a little bit. This is very favorable. There's going to be a lot of disbelief around whatever this guy is saying, but he is telling the truth, and that's going to be a hard pill to swallow. At first, it may not get much attention in the media, but this will catch on. And there's a new beginning on the horizon in the European countries in that area, possibly related even to Russia. But I get the UK is where this is coming out. And it's like something is ending. An old order is coming to an end, and a new order is beginning. And now is the time to take that on. It's going to cause some confusion at first, especially among the power structure, but the only way to resolve it is to work through it. And there's going to be some new things worked out around it in the power structure itself, having to redo something. Okay. I know that sounded really vague, but hopefully by the end of the month, that might be a little more clear. Okay. As far as Russia goes, it feels like things are going to heat up a little bit there. And there is a real concern about the war escalating. For those of you that didn't hear, Joe Biden authorized Ukraine to launch or use American missiles into Russia. So, doesn't mean that will happen, but that was authorized right about the time the jury verdict fell for Donald Trump. So, anyway, that was a big distraction for that thing that just happened. I'm feeling like things are going to heat up. There's a little bit, there's the moon underneath for the whole thing with the war that's kind of escalating there. But the tower is in the position, this card came out, the tower, and it came out in the position of the worry, the fear. So it's not actually going to manifest, I don't think. There could be a lot of fear around it though. But the future card is the Knight of Swords, taking action. And this is facing back into the King of Wands. That is also about taking action. And the outcome is the Three of Cups, which is a happy, positive card. I think that although things are going to be a little dicey, perhaps, I don't think it's going to end up badly for Russia and President Putin. I feel like things are going to work themselves out, and perhaps the tensions will not end up in a hot war, just rhetoric and maybe skirmishes here and there. Let me ask from Ukraine's perspective. Ukraine's perspective, Zelensky, the leadership there, on the war that they're fighting. Asking for the right, perfect cards. Okay, let's see what we have. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, the card of fate, karma. Karma is being worked out. A lot of fear going into it. Kind of a tricky situation there as well with this Knight, or excuse me, Page of Swords. This can kind of like be, there's going to be a lot of rumors going around about what's really happening. It's going to be hard to get the exact truth because of all the rumors that may or may not be true. Nine of Pentacles, gosh, are they going to get a bunch more money? This is on the outcome. Is Ukraine going to get a bunch more US dollars, aid, foreign aid? Feels like that could happen as well. The Hierophant over the top, crowning everything, bringing everybody into line. Very authoritarian there. Anxiety kind of leading up to this. The Nine of Swords, card of fear, anxiety, stress. So, yeah, a little more interesting than Putin's cards. Kind of, they're a little more favorable in some ways with that positive money card. Feeling like there could be some more aid on the way. Okay. I think that's all for now. Looks like there's going to be a lot going on in June in terms of tensions rising and anxiety among the people and possible issues with Donald Trump, um, and the powers that be working to silence him. And also interesting things coming out of the UK and Russia. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And if anything else comes up, I will be back on here in the month of June. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later. Bye for now.